What do you think is the relevance of the Arab Spring towards Pakistan? As you know, the divide between what the government knows and what the public knows in Pakistan is also increasing, particularly as it relates to the secret deals Pakistani government has with the United States.
Well, you know, we've had 3 Arab Springs in Pakistan already. The Arab Spring is about freedom, democracy, human rights against dictatorships. We have a full-fledged so-called democratic system. The media is free, the judiciary is freer now than ever before. So the demand in Pakistan is not about freedom, nor is it about democracy as such, because, you know, nor is it about elections. So we had an Arab Spring when we got rid of Ayub Khan. We had another Arab Spring when Benazir Bhutto came back. So we've had Arab Springs, and of course now recently after we got rid of Musharraf. The demand in Pakistan today is about the economy, about jobs, about livelihoods, about stability, about terrorism.
Pakistan is facing multifarious problems, but how do you think the tussles of the emerging powers and the established powers help understand what's taking place in Pakistan? I'm referring to the BRIC nations and security alliances such as the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and the CSTO on one hand and NATO on the other.
No, I think the internal struggle in Pakistan for political supremacy and functionality has nothing to do with what is happening, broadly speaking, in the region. We have a civil-military problem at home, and we have the problem of the governance or lack of governance that politicians give us. The foreign policy is going to be less able to wag the dog, as it were. The tail is going to be less able to wag the dog in the future. And I think that's one of the good things that has happened now, that until now our foreign policy has been running domestic policy, and now questions are being asked about it, so that domestic policy should run foreign policy, which is why you have this question of the efficacy of US aid and the relationship of parliament, elections, and the civil-military balance, whether civilians should hold the military accountable, the discussions on the defense budget. I think these issues are going to be the make or break issues for Pakistan.
Do you think the Islamic world in general is moving away from United States? We have seen the tensions increase in the relations between Saudi Arabia and US. Iran has traditionally had bad relations because of its nuclear ambitions, and lately the tensions between US-Pakistan relations. Does it mean that US and the Islamic world are drifting apart?
No, I don't think so. On the contrary, I think one of the reasons why President Obama has unfurled his new approach to Israel and to the 1974 or 67 boundaries and so on. I think this is a great initiative. It follows strictly out of what is happening in the Arab Spring that you're talking about. I think the American president wants to cash in on the goodwill that there is right now in the Arab world, amongst the people at least, for the United States after a long time. And so this is a good initiative, and I think it will be supported by Saudi Arabia, by everyone will support this. It's the Israelis who will have problems with this, but then that is Obama's problem.
The question everybody is asking, what the implications of OBL. Do you think his death would make the reconciliation with different factions of Afghan Taliban easier? I'm referring to the Haqqanis, the Mullah Umars, the Quetta Shuras. Now that the head figure is gone, do you think it will speed up the process?
Yeah, no, the thing is that this is a myth. The Taliban were never terribly fond of Al-Qaeda, but Mullah Umar had a personal relationship with bin Laden. And now we are beginning to find out that the Taliban were not enamored of Al-Qaeda. They wanted Al-Qaeda to go away and not create problems for them. I don't think Al-Qaeda and the Taliban link is going to be a problem. As long as the Taliban find a role to a table or a chair at the round table of the future dispensation of Afghanistan, they will say bye-bye to Al-Qaeda. I don't see that as an obstacle to the end game.
So it sounds like that the reconciliation process, Afghan reconciliation process, may become easier now that the OBL is no longer a factor.
No, that won't necessarily become easier, because Al-Qaeda is not run by one man in Afghanistan. Al-Qaeda is a loose confederation of militants. And so the death of OBL will not make this any easier. Of course, at a psychological level, it does create an impact that the Americans are beginning to wield their power more effectively, which is one reason, even before the killing of OBL, many in the Taliban were beginning to open links and lines of communication with the Americans. And so the Americans have had this process continuing now for over a year. And now the Pakistanis are also on board in terms of trying to bring in these elements and get them a seat at the round table of the future.
Thank you very much.